Up men all know me, and they sure leave me be. I'm a pistol-packing papa, and I ramble where I please. Oh-de-dee-dee-oh,
Add the walk. Steady she goes. Steady she goes. Steady now. Steady now. Steady, steady. Set your feet. Make your play. Very good. Where were you looking at the top?
I was looking at this little nick right here
were
at
you?
the top. Yep.
Okay.
What would you like me to do first? Just start shooting from here?
Yeah, well, just do a walk up first. It kind of keeps your mind off of things. The walk up does. Okay, add a little walk to it. Steady she goes. Steady now. Steady. Set your feet. Make your play. Very good. Okay, you want to do it again?
Sure.
There you are. Okay, steady as she goes. Set your feet. Make your play. That's one thing I want to add to this, and it's really, really, really important. When you start shooting longer range, the target's going to get smaller because the focal length gets smaller. And then I shot one of the best groups I'd ever shot before, and the distance was 54 feet from the target, and I had 50 cops watching me. So I really, really, really worked hard up here. And during the time the gun was firing at that distance, I never, as far as I was concerned, I was the only one out there. And I found myself in the psychological tunnel of concentration. Origin of the tunnel is always the origin of the controlling line of sight. And the end of the tunnel is never the target. It's always the point of impact. See? So, anyway, when I finished, the group was 2 inches wide and 3 inches high, and the deviation on the end of the barrel, plus or minus, was 9/1000ths of an inch. So I knew I could hold the bullets as steady as I held my conscious mind to zero. But if I start thinking or wondering where the bullets are going, because at that distance you can't see them impact, if I started doing that, I'd have lost the whole group. So it's really, really important. So I had a school in Laredo. I had 2 guys out of the Border Patrol Academy. They were only out about 2 months. We had a missing out the second day, and these 2 guys beat everybody, and now it was just them 2. And they'd fire 1 shot and go, and the other guy would fire a shot, and if they hit the target, they'd go back 10 feet. And they kept doing that until they were 52 yards away from the target, and I had a winner. He hit it 52 yards, and he was not using his sights. See?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. He could do that, and I do believe he was closer to the eye maybe than he normally is in point shooting. See? But as long as the barrel supports, as a parallel relationship, supports the line of sight, then the distance between the line of sight and the barrel, if it's even 3 inches or a half inch, the results should be about the same.
That's really something.
And mathematically, if it's in a perfect parallel relationship, and the difference between the line of sight here and the barrel here were a half inch, then mathematically you'd shoot a half inch low. But a half inch error in that condition is, we don't even talk about it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, make your play. Very good. You weren't breathing at all.
Nope.
You could feel it when you are or you're not.
It's really a sense of salinity there.
Very good.
That's good, Dave.
Thank you. Felt good.
Yeah. Very good.
Maybe I'll just draw from here.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Joe Fishnailer, a friend of mine, he lives just down the hill from where I live, shot Olympic-style pistol shooting for several years. And he came on out and did this here. And it was after it was all done, he said, Jim, this point shooting is twice as fast as if traditional sight shooting. Because the time it takes to get the sights lined up and all the stuff, you know, that goes with that way of shooting. He says, this is twice as fast. So maybe not initially it would be twice as fast when you're in the learning mode, but after it really locks in, he says it's twice as fast.
It really feels so natural because, like you say, the idea of pointing at something, that's what we're doing with the gun.
That's right.
And that's what you do with any kind of a threat. You face it and you're pointing, you know.
Yeah.
You're looking at line
Yeah.
of sight from the center of the eye.
But you're also learning initially to hold the gun so it'll shoot where you point it.
Exactly.
And that's called fitting. So a gun fits if it shoots where you're looking, it fits if it shoots where you point it, and it fits if it supports the controlling line of sight that's looking at where you want that bullet to go. So you have three definitions for fit. Yeah. I don't know if you thought about it or not. I know you probably have. Is why do we always shoot at an angle? And the only reason we shoot at an angle is safety. Safety, safety, safety. And I figured about 5 years ago, I figured that I was around about 6 million rounds of fire. And I've had one round fire out of control. And I had, it was in Kentucky. And it was at nighttime. And this officer walked up on a walk and draw. And when I said draw, he drew the gun. And as he drew the gun, bam, it was like that. And it fired about 3 feet behind him into the ground. And I never said anything. And he walked back with his head down. And he walked right up to me. He said, I want to say something. I said, say it. And he says, for 14 years, I've been firearms instructor for our department. And for 14 years, he says, I've always told every single student I had, never ever draw the weapon with your finger on the trigger. And he says, I just did it. So anybody can make a mistake.
Yep, safety is everything.
I know it.
You can see back here where that splatter is on the fragmentation, and then of course the casing's going over here. So we have about a 50-degree arc, it looks like.
Yeah, but you don't find any flak this way here at all because of the angle of the target. So steel can be very, very safe, but it can be also unsafe if you're not using tempered steel. Okay.
I notice there's virtually no pitting in the steel that you use here after all those rounds. It's just still nice and smooth.
No, it's still smooth, but that's tempered steel, and I've never found steel as hard as this. And I get it out of Birmingham, Alabama. It's called Astroloy steel. It's excellent steel. But it's safety, safety, safety. You can't be too safe.
Right.
We, you know, I don't want to be paranoid on it, but I want to be really safe.
Well, as long as the figure is off the trigger until you're going to pull it, that goes a long ways in making sure that that gun is in double action and rather than the hammer back, unless that's what you intend, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, try it.
Well, Jim, thank you very much. This has been a tremendous learning experience. I've studied with you, I guess, 3 or 4 times now over the years, and the first time I studied with you in the mid-1990s, I didn't make the hole-in-one because I've got a severe left eye dominance, so I shoot the right hand. I had 4 shots touching, but the 5th one would be about 1 inch away. But I came over here at the beginning of the month, and I did it a couple times today, and I got several holes in one, and it's pretty exciting. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Are you shooting with both eyes open now?
I am. I'm constantly shooting with both eyes open. I think one thing that helps me a lot is that I keep my focus on that initial point, no matter where the bullets are. In fact, I couldn't tell you where the bullets are going until after the 5, because I'm still looking at that point of impact. Yeah,
that's great. That's the way it should be. Yeah, because once your eye starts coming off the original mark, the rest of your bullets are going to, they go erratically in the general area, and likely hit the target. Yeah.
Jim, I'd like to say one more thing on film here, because I think you deserve to hear it, and anybody listening to this. Brian Snowden, my friend, and I have trained at Brad Steiner's Jendo Dao Martial Arts Academy for many years in Seattle. And Brad is a proponent of point firing, and he has told me on several occasions that Jim Gregg Shooting School is the only place in the United States that he recommends his students go to understand point firing.
Thank you very much for the comment.
In my review.
Yeah, thank him too.
I will.
Okay.
Oldie, oldie, oldie.